order.
Sure.
Do someone want to, do we have to second it? Yeah.
I don't think so.
No,
No.
because we're not online.
Right.
But maybe you want to say like what the date is and what meeting
Yes.
it is.
Yes.
Thank
Yeah.
Tell the dates. It's Tuesday, April 21st, and it is now 7:04 p.m. The Open Space Committee is having its regular scheduled meeting. I'm Jim Dooling.
Christina Hoffman.
Sean McElroy.
Awesome.
And we have guests.
And yes, we have a guest.
Eva Jackman,
You're from the Historical Commission?
Historical Commission.
Awesome. And you both?
Robin Etheridge, Chair of the Local Historic District Study Committee.
Joy Michaud, Vice Chair of the Lower Green Local Historic District Study Committee.
Great. Well, welcome. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
coming,
Thank you.
and thank you as well, Eva. If you'd like to present your query to the committee.
Okay, I'll start off. I just wanted to spend a bit of time appraising what's gone on in the Lower Green, as it is an open space, and may be relevant to any of your work you're doing. And in addition, there is another open space towards the Parker River, where the ferry, where the Harbour Masters place is, which is sort of categorised as an open space. So what has happened over the last couple of years is the Select Board got together following a petition put by the residents of the town of Newbury, about 145 of them signed it, requesting the possibility of the Lower Green being deemed a historic district. And the Select Board then formed the committee, which is myself as Chair, Joy Vice Chair. We also have Ellie Paliga, who works for Historic New England, and Lon Hafmeister, who's on the Newbury Historic Commission as members, and also Bethany Doru, who is Museum of Newbury, although she's no longer standing at the moment. We've just changed the committee over. So over the last few years we've been around, studied the history, the architecture of the Green and its relevance to be included as a historic district. This is all laid down by a very comprehensive and detailed instruction manual organised by the Massachusetts Historic Commission, MHC. They lay down the whole timeline, time frame you were supposed to do it in, and all the points. The fact you've got to reach out to everyone involved, solicit opinions, have public meetings and things like that. So moving forward, and indeed I have referred this to your chairman way back, so he's aware of it.
We've been working on this for 4 years.
David Powell, okay.
Yeah.
But the reason why we're here is we've now finished that, and following all the protocols laid down by MHC, which has involved, as I said, discussion with property owners, engaging the public, etc., etc. So we now, and also we have come up with the preliminary report, which is on the Newbury Town website, which does everything, history, lots of pretty pictures,
Fascinating.
everything, and available for anyone to get. It is only the preliminary report. We've had a public hearing last week, which was here, attended by Bill DeMeo and members of the general public to ask questions. All those questions and the answers given will end up in the final report, won't change from what we've got, because none of them were particularly, they were just dotting I's and crossing T's and things. So what happens now is there is a vote. It's gone on to the docket, item number 24 at the Newbury Town meeting, for a vote for the good people of Newbury. And it has to get a 2/3 majority to pass. That's a high bar. But all the residents who are in the area have all agreed, they're all happy with it, and indeed abutters to them seem to be as well. But you've still got to get a 2/3 majority. So what I'm going to share with you today is, so you're aware of exactly what we're talking about.
Well, we know exactly. Yeah, I just want to take a quick look, but we're going right through this. There isn't enough.
Okay, so, and it is the area in red, so we can just see. And the mission was, in creating a district, it's really, if you're standing on the lower green, it's what you can see from the green, what the eye line takes, and it's done in lots. So the Massachusetts Historic Commission won't allow you to sort of split lots and things like that. So we have encompassed the area around the green. There are a couple of exceptions, and there are a few outliers, which are the two cemeteries. So that's where we are at the moment, and I'm going to share with you a couple of the things, just to show you where I'm up to date. That's from the Massachusetts. Giving them a go ahead, so they're all approving everything. So
Do you want a copy?
I have a meeting Thursday night in the
So
front.
that's just,
Okay.
I've only got one copy of the other, probably the most, the best endorsement we've got, which came from the trustees of the reservations, who are actually incorporated, or some of their land is incorporated in it. A minute. So, and we've had sort of good endorsements from the Greenbelt,
Sons and daughters.
Sons and Daughters, who have a property within the historic district, which is the Jacqueline Willetts property on Cottage Road. And we've had generally good words from everyone else. So that was really it. And I know that I've only got one copy of that circulating around, because I think it's quite well written, very well written as to what embodies.
That's a letter of endorsement from the trustees.
Trustees.
But the whole reason that we did this was because there have been several estates that have been subdivided and actually torn down around the area. And the Lower Green is such a cohesive, beautiful area. I mean, not just for Newbury residents, but for anyone driving down the road to look at, you know, that beautiful, the green, all of the structures, the barns, the homes, you know, even all the way down from the river up. It really needs to be protected, because there is no protection at all. And, you know, with the schoolhouse on the Lower Green, in 300 years, the select board could say, we need that green to build condos. You know, with this is something, how many town greens are there left of this age and this quality in the United States? You know, I mean, I don't want to get all, you know, patriotic or whatever, but, you know, this is coming at a good time with America's 250th, you know, and our town is almost 400 years old. So, I mean, this is something that we all felt was really important to protect for posterity.
and also for the fact that green is still used as common land. I mean, virtually every weekend or during the week we see sports training activities going on, and in effect, you know, it's about 13 acres. That's prime real estate. If Newbury suddenly fell into financial difficulty and was pretty healthy at the moment, in 20 years' time or when we get on, they could easily say, oh well, we'll take that, and there was nothing to stop it. It's not on any register. Even the schoolhouse is not on any register at all.
No, it's not on.
Not protected.
Yeah.
No.
So this then encompasses that, and there are lots of rules. Bylaw issues will come up at the annual meeting, which we also have to vote on, which go in. Which I've got a copy there, but if you want to appraise yourself, it's all on the website. Which means that it doesn't stop development, or if someone's property burns to the ground, it's something unfortunate. Is what goes up has to have empathy with the district, really. I mean, it's got to be, rather than a glass and steel structure or something like that, it has to sort of fit in. I mean, it doesn't have to be a replica of a 18th century building, but it has to be something that melds in so the eye and the atmosphere is maintained, which is what's sort of trustee said as well. So, as an open space, I hope it sort of marries up exactly what we want. You know, it's, I mean, you decide what these are used for, and this is open land. This helps protect it as is. So that's really where we are. And now we're at the final stage, because this is it. This is on the docket for the voting, and it needs a 2/3 majority. And as you know,
On May 5th, yeah.
Yes, May 5th.
It's a tall order, yeah.
It's a tall order because anything requiring 2/3 majority is tough in this.
Something that we've designed in the report is the fact that we've gotten feedback from the neighborhood. You know, we're not just imposing thou shalt not. We've been working with everyone. You know, solar panels and ADU. Dwelling unit, accessory dwelling units. You know, we've been working with people to make sure that everyone feels comfortable with this, because there will be restrictions, but we're not going to, you know, chop off hands if something happens. We've been very sensitive in the bylaws that we're proposing.
And then just to add to that is any renovation or work done is really external, not internal, and it's really the facing to the public highway. So if someone wants to put an extension out the back or whatever they do, it's what's visible if you're standing in the middle of the green. That's what it's really all about, is to keep the aspect, which is the draw for people coming there as well. So
We look at it as making time visible. And for anyone, you know, for anyone driving by, someone from Gloucester or Maine or whatever, you know, they drive by and they think, oh, what a nice place. And this is our town, you know.
So that's what we've been up to for the last couple of years. So
Last 4 years.
So I have no idea how this fits in with your plans with the green or encompasses, but this was a way of telling you this is what's happening.
Yeah,
And it's,
I think I've just in our current status as a committee, like we've been trying to update the open space and rec plan for the town, and I've been, you know, kind of, you know, going through our old action plan over and over and talking about it with people, and a lot of it is concurrent with the goals of your committee, creating like different, you know, districts around the town to protect, you know, historic and natural resources, things like that. Inventory of historic sites, like these have been like goals of this committee as well for since this plan was created in 2010, and now in 2026 it's still part of our mission as a committee. So.
Good, so we can count on your vote.
Well, I'm actually not a resident of Newbury, which is crazy, but I would.
I take back everything I said.
No, well, also congratulations on getting,
Yes.
this far. That we know that it's a huge amount of work to have a volunteer group, trying to put together studies and plans and
Yes.
documents. So really well done.
Mass Historic Commission,
That's-
on our first try, when we submitted it,
Yeah.
Mass Historic Commission came back to us and said, this is great. We think that Newbury should do the upper green as well, and, as well, and we're like, whoa, no. You go ahead and, how's that working out for you, but but they gave us a ringing endorsement, which,
Oh, great.
on our first draft.
That's really nice.
That's great.
Yeah, so we
It's
were
interesting.
very
The upper green-
encouraged.
The upper green's on the historic register, but it's not an historic district.
So there's no
The
protection.
difference is, there's no protection. The difference is, historic register is under a federal government scheme operated by the Ministry of Interior, whatever it is.
Mhm.
And if you want anything done, you have to go to deal with the federal government, as you know, that's going to be difficult. Whereas historic districts are actually mandated by the select board, the local community, effectively determining the bylaws and everything else. So the control is much more in your hands.
Yeah.
The
Which
Federal
is-
Register homes can also be torn down.
Oh yeah, they can. They're the federal. Yeah. So, and the other important thing is none of this is going to cost the town of Newbury any money,
That's right.
other than maybe a sign or something. But even then,
I feel like there's a new sign on the road.
Yes.
There is, yeah, it's Lafayette, and we didn't know anything about it.
Sign for the Lafayette Trail.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
I went to-
I just
We're
saw
all up there in pouring rain to have it unveiled.
Oh, that's
Sunday.
nice.
Only a few intrepid souls showed up. I looked through my window.
When you said it's not going to cost the town anything, does that mean you will be seeking other funds through other organizations because you
We
now
will-
have the
we will not-
designation?
We will not have to seek any funding,
Yeah.
but the properties within the district,
Yep.
like the cemeteries and other markers,
Yep.
are available to get grants because of this.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
but,
So
there's no.
maintenance or
I was
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
I'm in the photo.
you're in
Yeah.
the green
I just noticed that last one.
There's the sign, yeah.
unveiled last.
Oh, great. That's awesome.
It's a beautiful sign.
It is.
Yeah, it is very tasteful.
Yeah.
It's
Very nice
double-sided,
It's double
too. Yeah,
sided.
it's very
It's
nice.
double sided.
And it'll be nice to add to the, visitors that come.
Just
Yeah.
poured with rain the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's all I have to say. You can keep the maps and have a look at the reports that are on that. As I said, it's a preliminary report.
Right.
The final one will be coming out very shortly prior to the town meeting.
Do you need formal? Are you looking for formal approval from various boards and committees?
No, we don't. Well,
Not formal, but, if you endorse us, then.
Yes,
Spread the word.
we've had approval from the Select Board, Massachusetts Historic Commission, and the Planning Board.
Historic Commission, Historic Committee,
Historic Committee.
Yeah.
So all the
yeah, Planning Board.
approvals have been obtained. So
Okay,
it just
great.
now needs the approval of the good people of
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
Newbury, Byfield, and Plum Island.
Newbury.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
That's good.
that's great. Congratulations.
Okay,
on
thank
your
you.
Oh, well,
progress.
then congratulations, yeah. You may see us again next year.
I'm getting this far.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Thanks.
So, seems like you're on the cusp.
Yeah.
If it does pass, what's the time frame for getting the final?
right,
report?
okay,
You may have
good
mentioned
question.
this,
What
but-
happens then is the Select Board have to create a historic district commission, which is made up of 5 people, of which there'll be 1 resident, plus probably a member from the historic commission, maybe someone from the planning board, and maybe, they'll pick through, and they, once they get set up, they will be looking at any issues that arise. I mean, nothing should arise if someone needs to do work in their house, that
They'll review it.
they'll review it, if it needs to be reviewed.
Right.
But if not, they don't sit regularly, they're on an as-needs-be basis.
Good.
And the process is having the vote done, so after May, it has to go to the Attorney General of the state of Massachusetts for sign-off. And then from there it goes to the Massachusetts Historic Commission, who then effectively agree it and then allow you to stick a sign up or something. So it'll happen relatively quick.
And then the final report
Yeah,
is essentially just,
the final report has got to take in what we discussed at the public hearing. They want to see, the whole thing is about making sure everyone has had their say and gone through the process.
I'm going to have my copy bound in leather. Laminated.
So I feel better when it's we'll turn on the frame, put on the wall.
So that's it. So hopefully it'll get through, and then if it doesn't, then you can have another step next year. But I mean, the only problem is item 24 on what is going to be a very big document. And you know what
right.
town meetings are like when you get
Bill
into
DeMayo
the
came, yeah.
20s, people have
Disappeared.
Bill DeMayo came to our meeting that we had a hearing on, what was it, last Monday. And, he came in support and everything. And we said, well, we don't know where we are on the agenda for town meeting. And he said, number 24. And we all, and then someone said, out of how many? And I said, 24.
really
No, it's like 26 or 27, so we're gonna,
Maybe I would have thought to have it early because it doesn't involve money, and basically
yeah,
everything's normally about money.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
anyway.
Well, good. And I think that this I'm super excited to hear about it, and it sounds really promising. So my fingers are crossed that it will get passed. And
Thank you, yeah.
it is that green has been flagged as a piece of open space. So we're definitely got our eyes on it.
Yep.
And I think it's been acknowledged that it isn't otherwise protected in any other way, shape, or form. So we have been thinking about it. So yeah.
it's been on the list of Massachusetts' most endangered locales since
Yeah,
2010.
2010.
Mhm.
It was dedicated though as a green at one time,
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Right.
so
Yeah.
it does have some teeth in it because it was
It was.
early
Yeah,
on.
Yep.
absolutely right. It's
Yeah, we
common
do have
land.
abide by whatever it says, sort of in the deed or however the transfer happens. So there is some commitment there, but I think there's an opportunity to make it a little stronger, potentially. Yeah.
Good.
So we will leave you to your business.
Yep.
We'll fishtail out the parking lot.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming.
Thank you for your support.
Thank
Thank you for
Feel
having us.
free, if you've got any questions or anything else, feel free to come back. But as I said, the report and maps and things are all on the website.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
It's on
Thank
the
you for
town
letting
meeting
us come.
It is.
Thank you. Okay, good.
Yep.
Great.
And also, good luck with your committee.
Thank you. We'll see you. Thank you.
So anything that we can do for you,
Yes, thank you.
letter of support perhaps? Thank you very much.
Yes.
Good
Thank you.
seeing
Good night. Nice to see you.
Nice to meet you. See you later.
Did you get a copy of the picture?
I didn't get a copy of it.
I'll get one.
Yeah, or send it to the commission.
Yeah.
Okay,
Good night.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Eva, do you have any questions?
I don't, I just didn't know, what you were really reviewing, previewing, and I didn't know if there was anything, historically that you're thinking about. Like, I think the only thing I suggested was resources, you know, from each open space committee would be so helpful. Not to just us, but I think other, you know, committees, planning board even, we should know what we have,
Yeah.
and we don't.
Mm-hmm.
And so if there's a project done, in the past, projects have been done on open space that we've never been contacted about. And then come to find out, they've gone through historic properties that we know of, that is documented, and they didn't know about it because it wasn't in their resource, or, I just think it'd be helpful
Yeah.
on a lot of levels, for a lot of different planning, I would think.
Yeah, definitely.
And to have one place to go and access, I don't know if open space would be it, or it would be planning department.
Yeah.
Or just it'd be nice if it was recorded. If they've done a study, it'd be nice to have a copy.
Like of a list of
Well,
sort of
usually,
properties or?
the trustees have a cultural resource document for the trustees, the Old Town Hill. And it outlines everything, where houses were, the roads are all in there. I'm hoping to incorporate that into a 400th, celebration type of, those little things that you do with your phone, and it gives you the information.
A
It's a
QR
scan-
code.
Right,
Yeah.
and taking that document, and I've actually had that document put on a plan, so you can see the plan,
Yep.
and it goes up to present time, over the last 1728, I think it is, to present time. And I just like to use it that way. But the problem is getting those studies. I've asked the trustees twice, I've contacted them and asked them for a copy, they have not furnished it. I have some of it, I've used some of it in the past, but I don't have a complete copy. And it'd be nice, I think I've asked planning if they had a copy a few years ago, and they didn't have a copy. It was done in 2006. Maybe there's been another one since. And I just want to see them utilize it, because there's another project with the Hay Street, and when the state was reviewing it, trustees never owned up to the fact that there was a mill there. I had to provide them, the state, with that. And I used their documentation to do it. So whether this thing has just gone missing because they haven't supplied me with a copy, I just think it's important that we have it.
Yeah, interesting.
So I don't know if we're gonna have the commission request, and maybe they didn't get back to me because it was Silver Lodge Farm, my own personal email, but no, I talked to them on phone too, so.
So you're saying like the guide that's online,
So is that the visitor's guide? The town of Newbury visitor's
guide to
guide?
historic Newbury and other points of
Yeah,
interest?
that's not the trustees.
No, I know.
No, they have
So you're saying
cultural resource.
the trustees
They did
document
that.
or resource has
Yes.
information that's missing from this,
No,
what I just
no.
showed?
No, that's complete. That has more information than the trustees report has.
But there's something in the trustees report that can help
Can
expand
help
or enhance
expand-
what's
It
here.
can enhance the history.
Gotcha,
I can sit
right.
back at home with the few little copies that I have, but I have a very, very small piece of it. But I'd like to share it. I think,
Right.
and I really think for the 400th, it'd be a great addition to the green. Because you could walk and, there's that, Hale, Stephen P. Hale, he was such a character. I mean, even throwing in some of his things, he kept a barrel of sticks so you could walk up the hill, walking sticks, and just ask, little things like that. People coming into town to visit for the 400th, taking that walk, being able to scan, and that trustee's report would be so helpful
Gotcha.
for us to do that. And that's just one property. We have so much open space. If somebody in that neighborhood might just like to take that on, come the 400th. And we don't have a lot of time. We really gotta start thinking about it.
Right,
Mm.
right.
9 years, 8 years. Yeah.
So I just
Right.
wondered if that was, like I said, I don't know if open space would be, whose hands these reports should be in. But I think they should be available to anybody who wants to look at them.
Yeah.
If the town creates them, I think that they would be. The trustees, is a private organization, so if they paid for the report, then they're probably not as likely to share it with the public, except for specific things. But if the town were to do a study, I do think that it would be, it was paid for by the town residents, so I do think that it would be a more public document than one that was created by a private entity.
And it can only enhance the property. The more history you know,
Yeah.
all the trails that are up through Old Town Hill now, they were all roads. Those trails were just roads, and I have every bit of documentation. And the fun part about it is, it has been completely transcribed, horribly, mind you, because it was done late 1800s, but at least it's not the old scribe. And a couple of years ago, the Museum of Old Newbury actually purchased the original book. And that could be on display for the 400th.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah.
with their help, but
Yeah.
But to see that field book that Pike held and wrote in, brought to the town hall, and recorded the proprietor's records,
Yeah.
they've got it. And we've got it transcribed. Nobody's got to go through that agony.
Yeah.
So I just think as a package,
Mm-hmm.
it would really, it would be a good thing.
Yeah, definitely.
So I haven't got everything together yet. When I do, I'm gonna show it to the commission, but it really involves planning.
Yeah.
Because-
definitely.
Yeah,
Right.
so when I get that complete, I'll let you know.
Yeah, definitely, keep in touch.
But that was why I was here, I had the time to come, so. The last Zoom meeting, my husband was having knee surgery, so I was
Oh,
there
gosh.
Oh, that's all right.
weeks ago.
I think he's doing all right.
He is, the first knee took a year and a half to heal. This one's already doing good, 2 weeks in. So.
Okay.
Good. Good.
So if you're done with me, that's all I really wanted to know, is if that was given in consideration. Or, like I said, I don't even know if the other group to handle it.
I think us or planning, yeah.
Planning,
would
yeah.
be definitely. Yeah, I feel like planning is kind of the liaison between different committees, like historical and open
Yeah,
space and
and,
rec and
like
stuff,
you
so.
said, this land, everything's got a price on it.
Right, definitely.
And so it might be nice to have that at your disposal. Somebody comes in and wants to do something that they shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Probably would too. I think we better preservation on our own. I'm right there. I can be in the district. Well, thank you all.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
your time.
And remember, just reach out for anything we can do for you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep. Oh, you're back.
I do that all the time. Flora, forget it.
It's so pretty. I think if you came back, we wouldn't be there anymore. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, thank you all.
Thank you.
Good night.
Have a good night.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
So the next stuff that I had wanted to talk about was, also, sorry, I did not, I know Mike's not here, he usually does minutes. I didn't figure out a way to have minutes be taken, but I can,
I'm taking minutes. I'll take minutes tonight.
okay, that sounds good. If anything's missed, I can also review the tape
Okay.
once it's available, so, thank you.
Uh-huh.
So, meeting minutes,
Previous ones.
yes, there's March 24th and April 7th. I sent out, I'm so annoyed with myself, I sent them out today when I had them for many days before today, but I don't know if you all had a minute to review those, but if not, that's totally fine, we can just vote on them next time, but,
I had a chance to review the ones from our last meeting.
okay.
I didn't sing here, just the last one.
Just the last one.
I didn't-
Okay.
I've seen both. but-
Okay, yeah. So, I mean, the agenda says we're only gonna vote on one set of minutes, so I'm not sure if that means that we shouldn't vote on the other set.
That's all, first agenda, I was all mixed up, but I revised it to say the correct minutes that are still needing to be reviewed, so.
Okay.
If we wanna just vote on the 24th, since we've all reviewed those minutes, because I think we'll need at least a quorum of people who have reviewed the April 7th minutes. to
I
vote.
think that we've all reviewed the April 7th minutes, and we haven't all reviewed the March 24th, and I wasn't here, so I can't review them. So we
Oh,
can all
okay.
review the last meeting that we had.
Okay,
And we can
Okay,
vote
gotcha,
on that.
okay,
But it's fine.
So I would put forward a motion to approve the meeting minutes as written for the last meeting, which was April 7th.
Seven.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
I,
Aye, aye.
Awesome.
Okay.
Great. All right. So I wanted to talk about next, cleaning up anything that's left with the narrative portion of the draft. I know we had, we got some great comments from Kay. I didn't know how, I wanted to just check in with you all who are here about how that's been going, if any questions have come up reviewing those, or just where we're at there.
I definitely had a couple things from the conversation.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
K, MVPC.
Yes,
Yes,
yeah.
right, and have not gotten to it. Just
Okay.
had a busy stretch, but
Yeah.
I can get to that certainly by the May meeting.
Okay, yeah,
Um,
definitely.
And I can also just offline communicate with you.
Yeah,
on that.
that sounds great.
It was just a few small additions
Yeah.
that were suggestions.
I think, yeah, I was surprised at how, like, minimal her comments were, so I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Christina or Sean, anything?
Yeah, section 3 is done. We just stayed online and cranked through it after our last meeting, and so, I'm sorry, section 4.
Yes.
Section 4,
Okay, great.
we incorporated all the comments,
Great, awesome,
so we're done.
nice. Anything on your end, Sean, or?
I don't know, I didn't know who was gonna try to get that map 7 into section 4F.
I think, I was reviewing, because I had that question myself earlier, last week, and I was reviewing, what Kay had said, and she said that the green belt maps, I think, would serve as the requirement for anything climate change related and map wise. Is that how you remember it, or is?
Okay, well, so the comment was from MVPC, right?
Yes. She sent, yes, I remember coming across this. She sent the draft. I put it in the drive, and then during the meeting, I remember we were going through each comment that she had left, and we got to that comment, and she was like, oh, I talked with Sadie, and she was saying that Greenbelt's providing some maps related to climate change and parcel prioritization, and that can serve as that,
Okay,
that requirement.
okay, because I was a little confused, because I
Right.
actually asked them as well whether those would work,
Mhm.
given the fact that they're based on the same data.
Yes,
So that was the big question.
I think,
So if we've resolved that, then I haven't seen the maps. I'd like to see the maps when they're ready.
Yes.
Just send us a little.
yeah, they're in the Google folder, I
Okay,
think.
no, I've looked at those maps. I mean, in the document.
Right,
Let's see.
that's one thing I wanted to, talk a little bit about today.
Oh.
Also,
That's really all I have.
okay, awesome, yeah. So, I have a bunch of notes here. Okay, yes. So has, I guess Christina and Jim, have you guys been keeping track of your sources for your sections? If you've used any outside sources?
Yeah, everything's in the references for our section.
Okay, awesome. And,
It still needs to be formatted, like,
Yeah.
the way we're gonna format it,
Right.
but they're all in there.
yes, awesome, okay. And Jim, I think you've been keeping track as well.
Yeah,
For sources.
yeah, like the data from the
Yeah.
tables and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was embedded right in there.
yes, I do remember that,
So,
yeah, okay.
So do they just need to be moved down to the references section, or have you, like, you gave a source, and then did you give like the full citation that would be down in the references section, or do we still need that?
I would need to look at the references section to see exactly, if it matches,
Okay,
but it shouldn't be. So
yeah.
are you,
See.
do you want to open it now or not?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that, right? Just so that we know what our action items are when we leave.
Yes,
Okay,
yeah.
that sounds
Since
good.
we're here.
Yep.
It's a long document.
It is.
So I got it.
Also, this is, I'll get my
Section 1, references, page 53 of 55. In case
Oh,
anybody's
yeah.
wondering. I would say,
I'm just moving so I can plug in my laptop. 'cause it's
yeah,
hard to type.
and how about you? Do you have any references of the data sources that you need to go into the references section?
There were, I had a bunch of references that, I don't know if they got transferred over or not, I'll double check, I haven't had a chance to look at
Okay,
them.
So, yeah. I'm just looking into section 3, some of the, sorry Sean, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, that'd be-
I was just gonna say, some of them are a little repetitive, like,
Some of the sources?
yeah,
Okay.
the hazard planning documents and.
Yeah, I
that sort of stuff.
definitely,
I mean, we don't need to put like 8 different copies.
yeah, I've been kind of shoving the source formatting question down the road. So that's definitely something
Oh,
that I will ask Kay about.
I've got, here's your section 3.
Exactly, it was filled in and I did not do that, so,
Oh, okay.
if I'm just trying, I was trying to do a side-by-side comparison of what I wrote.
Mm-hmm.
This the sections. Sources 1960, so somebody must have, this matches what I have in
I think
line.
I might, at
Did you
some
take
point,
it?
maybe I might have
Yeah.
copied and pasted stuff.
Yeah, so there were 3, I think there should be.
Oh, references, okay, so
But I
somebody.
So are we though saying, I just want to make sure, like, this data, in line, it's not footnoted. It was taken from a similar, like it was taken from this source, and
Mhm.
these are multiple sources actually, so.
Okay.
Could you do something like this, like go down into the references section and just add in, like if it was, the town of Newbury, it was basic recreation plan, the 2000 version, or
Just confirm it's
mass
listed
DEP,
there.
yeah, and if it's not there,
Yeah,
maybe
do
you just add it in.
a comparison, sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then we'll put them in alphabetical order at the end.
Yeah, and the maps, we don't,
Yeah.
Yep, just,
Yeah, this is the references section, so if you want to scroll up to your section, you can just use that.
no, this is,
Okay, that's what you want.
are the maps also considered references? Or-
I think so,
Yeah.
which I can
But
generate.
we know
a-
they're all from the same source.
Yeah.
Or-
Or I don't know if
The
we have to
maps
cite.
are part of our, don't we all have maps? Are you talking about maps that you pulled off from another document?
No, I guess
Like just the
mean,
MVPC, the
Yeah.
maps
Yeah,
MVPC and Greenbelt created,
they're
like,
identified on the maps, so
Yeah.
maybe that's good enough.
Yeah, I think we could just say like map 3 shows blah, 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 and I think MVPC probably has a citation on their map of where it
Yes,
comes from. So I don't
I
think
think
we have to repeat it
okay.
in the references.
Yeah, I will definitely consult with Kay about that, about, where to put sources if they're needed in the text, or if we just put them all at the end. I just want to make sure that everyone had kept track of like where they got all their information.
So are we, and I just want to make sure, when you say information, are we
Yeah.
talking about data, or are we talking about like stuff beyond?
Like, I know a
Yeah.
lot of
I'm not
your
trying to get into
sections.
footnoting.
No, I'm not saying
Yeah.
that is how
Yeah.
what you should do.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think, like, we'll definitely cite the 2010 plan, because I know that's where you got a lot of your information. So,
Yeah.
like,
Yep.
text and narrative stuff.
Right.
But it seems like you have all your data sources.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so,
Alright.
okay, great.
Sounds good.
And I'll work on figuring out how we're gonna all format it in section 9.
Great.
Alright, so you think yours are in there, or you're gonna check them?
I'm gonna just do
A
a double check on
okay.
that.
Great, and Sean?
I mean, the tables I have are definitely in here, so I just wanna go through
so,
some of the data.
Yeah.
we're gonna add these to the document ourselves, or are we sending them to?
You can add them into section 9. I'm trying to just keep them organized by section at the moment. But
Meaning down here in section 9, I think you had section 4
Right.
add, you just put it there.
Yeah, under section 4. I think, when I've been looking through and thinking about the narrative edits, I've been in a clean document, the one that says clean OSRP Newbury draft. Because I think that's where Mike, he just happened to be the first person to, or I think it might have been you and Bill.
So yeah, I think when we were here, we agreed to use the one that said MVPC as the front, and so I actually would take all the other documents and put them in the old version, so that when everyone goes in to make their edits, if they're making any more, that there's only one document there. Because I even went tonight and I opened up all 3 documents because I couldn't even remember which one we said was the latest version. And I was like, oh, here are our
That
edits.
is confusing.
And I took it right from the meeting because I literally went right into the version that you said to use. So I would move the other 2 documents.
Okay, got you. I will organize that better.
And I think it's probably worth like sending out an action item list that says like, here's what people are, planning on doing, like with some of those instructions so that you don't get
Yes.
where to put our edits.
So, yeah, so Jim is reviewing data and sources. Sean, you are also for?
Yeah, I've got a few to
Okay.
add.
And Sean, all right.
And then, any final, and Jim, you were gonna
Some,
incorporate the comments.
right, MVPCs.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yes, I can see how that would be confusing.
It was. I thought, it was very clear when we finished the meeting last week.
Yeah,
but we didn't send it out like memorialize it, which is making me say maybe we should have
It's
it.
amazing how quickly one forgets
Yes.
what was decided. Yeah, that's my bad. Okay, so, okay, another thing I wanted to, does anyone have any other like loose ends they wanted to discuss regarding the sections?
Only that I think we were trying to like nail down a schedule. I'm always in the schedule mode.
Yes,
so-
I have some thoughts on that.
Okay, good.
So, I guess on the agenda, I wanted to, I'm just going a little bit out of order on the agenda, so I apologize, but, for next steps and things, so town meeting is May 5th,
Yep.
which is a Tuesday. And I think part of our process was to have another public meeting to review the action plan. Is that kind of what everyone was thinking?
Yeah.
I actually was looking at that. I made a new one because I thought, after speaking with Kay a little bit, that I had some thoughts. Where is it?
Great.
That might help us keep things rolling. So, where's my document?
And you finished sections 1 and 2, so the group needs to review the sections that you've recently finished.
Yeah, if you all would like to do that, yes, that would be great.
Okay. Which sections were those? Can you just remind us?
1 and 2, and we haven't, Mike, Martha, and I haven't finished the action plan yet, so we haven't done section 6 just yet. But coming soon.
Yeah. How about 8, section 8, public comments?
that is kind of, I think, just going to be where we paste in the approval letters from all the other boards and committees.
I think that the public comments also need to get summarized.
Or like, yeah, like citizen comments, is that what you mean?
Yeah, I guess. Is that where the survey results go in as well? I was thinking
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
also the survey
Right.
results.
Yes.
But I don't have the workbook open to know where we put that. I was thinking it was section 8, but I could be wrong.
Let me just find, I made edits to this and I really want to find it, I don't know where.
Yeah, focus on that. I'll pull the workbook up and see where the public
Okay.
comments need to go.
Six, maybe? Oh, public comments, eh?
I found my document. You're looking for section 6, or section?
He's looking at where the survey results need to go
Yeah, from the workbook.
in the workbook.
Yeah.
Like, where's
Site
it
all
at?
references docs.
Oh, wait. Summary of communities, summary of central resources.
I think it's public comments, or it's as an appendix.
Yeah, it's funny that it doesn't tell you.
Yeah.
It actually was Appendix F.
I think,
I
yeah,
think, oh, no, those are sample open space and rec plan survey questions.
I think other plans have put them as an appendix and referenced them in the summary section, like the summary of
Right.
outdoor or open space needs.
Yeah, so it kind of ends up being in section 6 then,
Yeah,
which is like the needs.
yeah, and I have those graphs that I made, I can definitely like put those in there as well.
Okay.
So I will work on that. So town meeting is on the 5th. I think normally the chair of the committee, if desired, will stand up and say a few words about what the committee's working on. But I thought it would be, it's like, we're like 2 seconds away from town meeting now.
Yeah.
But, and this is our last meeting before town meeting. So I think, Christina, do you think Bill would want to do that? I know David did it last year, and give a little summary about our status with the plan update and everything, but do you think Bill would want to do that?
We can ask him. He would probably rather delegate it to me.
Okay.
But we can definitely ask him.
Okay, I'm worried about making decisions not in the public meeting setting, so I guess we can decide kind of like pending Bill's preference. It will either be him or you that does it.
Yeah.
Would that work? Okay.
Yes, let me just make sure. We're not going to be able to. But yes, either one of us. Yep.
Okay.
Unless there's someone else who's really keen to stand up at public meeting.
Wish I'd recorded Davis. We could just be around
Yeah.
pretty much.
But I wanted to kind of maybe bounce ideas off of you guys. So I think town meeting's a really good place to publicize any events that you're doing. I know we wanna have another public meeting, so I wanted to ask, if we think we would be able to figure out how to publicize the public meeting that we haven't yet planned. So, do we want to decide on, I don't think we can decide on a date to have a public meeting without the whole committee present, or at least Bill. But I wanted to see if you or Bill would want to talk about the fact that there is going to be a public meeting in the future.
Yeah, I think that the key points, we're working on a draft, open space and recreation plan. We already had a great survey, we already had a public meeting, we sent out a survey, thank you to everybody who did it. We've collated the results, we've been working with Merrimack Valley Planning Commission, and we're getting ready to submit our draft, to some of the public departments. And then we would also love the public's review on it as well, and we're planning on hosting a public meeting. And, anticipate it will be this summer. And so please keep your eye out on the announcements from the town of Newbury and sign up for open space recreation
Yes.
if you want to receive them.
Yes. Okay, that sounds good. I think that's as much as we can give people at this point in time.
Yeah.
And the key is that it's a final chance for public.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Review
It's the
and-
action plan, it's what's gonna be, it's not like set in stone, like things can change, it's just kind of a guide.
Exactly, I
If,
think that's key. is,
Yeah,
it's-
But, this is the time to
Right.
speak up, and if you really care about a cause that open space committee should be paying attention to, then we can add things and, speak now kind of thing.
So, what's the timing on this? Christine had a whole list in terms of.
Yes, so that was going to be my next point. So I was reviewing the workbook, I was reviewing Kay's advice about next steps, and my thought process is that we will, Mike, Martha, and I will finish getting a draft action plan together, and then we'll submit it to MVPC, because I think Kay wanted to review the action plan. So I'll have her just review the action plan and not go back through the narrative, since she's already reviewed that. And so she'll review the action plan, she'll give it back to us, we'll clean it up, get the formatting nice and pretty. And then I think that the next step would be to have the public meeting, to discuss the action plan. Post it on the website, get the word out, leave it open for review for a certain period, talk about it on May 5th. And then, according to the workbook, we can submit the draft to DCR for a very initial rough review before we've done, or concurrently with submitting it to, Conscom, Board of Health, Planning, Town Administrator. So I think that the next step should be to do those two things simultaneously to, time-wise, it makes the most sense in my opinion. And then we take all that, incorporate it all, and then send it to DCR.
Wait, what was happening at the same time?
Sending to DCR for initial review. In the workbook it says, you can send it to us for as a draft, and we'll give you comments. So you can do that and give it to town boards and departments at the same time.
And to get to that point, you were saying the action plan, based on what you're already doing underway, would be handed off to MVPC for review.
Yes.
What point of how complete, how do you know when you're getting the action plan to a point where, similar to what we were talking about with the OSRP, the narrative, we decided to do it sooner rather than later so that we could get
I
good
guess
feedback.
I am just going to decide after Martha and Mike have like looked it over. I mean, I can definitely, I'll put it in the Google for you all to look at if that's what you would like, and then give it to Kay.
Yeah,
Does
I guess,
that make
I guess
more
what
sense?
I'm driving at, and this is just for my own sort of
Yeah.
mental clarity on,
Mhm.
if there's a lot in here, right?
Mhm.
We have 100 or so
Yeah, yeah.
sub-actions,
Mhm.
and
And that's the old one, right?
that's the old one,
So we
right?
don't
So
wanna
it's-
end up with 100 in the new one.
Exactly.
No,
So
We
like, are
need
we
to like streamline
Yeah.
it.
trimming it down? Is
That-
that part of
that
what you're
is-
talking about doing?
Yes, Mike, I think,
Yeah.
has
Right,
the attitude of, you know, consolidate, streamline.
Right.
We don't want to be overwhelmed. We don't want a bunch of tiny little things.
Yeah.
Like, we just want like a, you know, a guide, a path towards our goal. And we can, you know, as a committee, when we're taking on a task, we can be like, okay, these are the little things we want to
right.
split it into.
So does that mean, like, you know, we're gonna, if you're starting to fill out all these columns and coming up with, you know, whether you're talking about responsibility, priority, starting dates, there's a lot of decisions, even though this is drafty, it's
Mhm.
like a draft in nature,
Yeah.
it's not permanent,
Mhm.
but how much, I guess, even if we trim it down, there still would be a lot of work here.
And do we have to have all those in there? I
Exactly.
thought that Bill created a section, like an action plan that was based on some of the other action plans that we saw, and it was a really simple table.
It
And I
was.
thought we were going with that version, so that's why I was waiting to hear how the action plan review went, because when I opened up that document, I got a little overwhelmed.
Yes.
Sitting here, so.
So can we, and maybe if you weren't part of it, then we just need to wait and have the conversation with Mike about like, what is that document?
I was there for the conversation.
Oh, you were? Okay.
Yeah. That is,
The one that you were just showing?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the big, the
the big one, the big monster one, what is
Yes.
that? What is that?
so, yeah, I can explain. So this sheet that says analysis of old action plan is, I dumped in the old action plan, and then Mike and Martha and I didn't get through. We got through goal 1, and this document is their comments and like consolidating. Like, this is the draft new plan, action plan, if that makes sense. Does that make sense how I'm explaining it?
Well, it is, but I think that I think we should think about simplifying the new plan. If this is like a way to memorialize what we did on the old plan,
Mhm.
then I think that these details are great. But I think that we should go back to the template that Bill sent that to use for the new plan that would be used in the 2025 version. And I don't think we should put something this complicated into the new plan.
Well, we've only done one, like 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4. So it's not like 2 and beyond has not been
right.
analyzed yet.
I'm more talking about
Just the
columns
setup.
E through L.
Right, there's someone.
Yes, we haven't talked about really anything besides description of action and responsibility. And I've just copied and pasted things like cross-referencing with other planning documents, resources, and funding. I was not thinking that we would get into the nitty-gritty. I've just been using Kay's guidance purely with this spreadsheet because this is the one that she sent us. I don't know if I've seen Bill's template that you were talking about.
I
Okay.
remember something that was
Yeah, it was really
bare bones in a
simple.
good way, yeah.
In a really good way, yeah. And so, okay, so this table came from Kay. That's what we were trying to figure out. Where
Okay,
did this table
sorry,
come
yes.
This
Right.
table came from Kay.
Mhm.
You did like the heavy lifting of loading our previous versions,
Right.
goals and action items in there. That was a huge lift, thank you.
Yeah.
And I do think it's worth like, okay, yeah, so you're filling out row by row, did we do this? And
Yeah.
if so, like I didn't really, like is there a way, where does it tell me, did we do this already?
Martha is working on going through the whole thing and just being like done, not done, done, not done.
Okay, so there's no column right now that says done, not done.
Right.
That's what I was looking for. I was like, okay, you guys did the first one, so I was
Current
like,
status.
which
right?
one did,
Yeah.
so which ones did we do? So we couldn't tell like
We
what
were-
this was, to be honest.
Our main discussion when we just had one meeting and then we've been communicating over email since then. We were kind of coming at it from the angle of like, do we want to bring this into the new plan or not? And so these were kind of the ones that made the cut, just for goal one. But
Oh
these
my
were the
gosh,
things.
all of these things?
Yes.
Okay.
Um,
So all of these things were considered to maybe bring into the new plan. Yeah.
The
I-
first 20, or,
First,
down the line.
right, down to road one.
yeah. Right, and that's,
That's,
so we're
That's a
thinking
lot.
that's a lot, like,
Well,
we,
I guess, I mean, just my experience with road mapping and
Mhm.
other kinds of
Yeah.
program management would be that, at least keep everything simple and take, if you're gonna break things up into buckets, from near term to long term,
Mhm.
you want the near term stuff to have the meat in it, right? And the stuff farther out, you just put placeholders even,
Mhm.
and something where you don't have to fill in every column, or maybe you don't use, like you're saying, any of the column, a lot of the columns here, and you know that that's gonna be 2029, and
Mhm.
you really don't even put much
So
there for it. So I
we
guess
do
I'm
want-
just thinking, if we're gonna keep it simple, but it's still actionable,
Yeah.
we really want the near-term stuff to be where we focus our attention.
Yeah. I think like Mike and Martha and my thought was just, like not trying to reinvent the process and just
Yep.
bring over kind of talk about what we want to keep, what we don't want to keep, and
Totally.
what's been done and what hasn't been done.
Yep.
So, but Bill has that already. I mean, didn't we sort of work through that already?
so we went through just a template of
Right,
like what
just
it
a
would look
general-
like. It's like here would be, and I think he actually even identified, like based on our narrative, what the needs were. I feel like there was maybe a few sections of like,
I can't find the document.
I can't
remember.
either.
Yeah, that's, do you remember?
I don't know where to see that off the top of my head.
Yeah, I just seem to recall a brief mention of it, maybe we
Okay.
projected it.
I mean, like here,
it
even
seems
some
like-
goals and objectives, right? It's like
Yeah.
goal A, and there's 3 things under goal A, and goal
Right.
B, and there's 3 things under, like,
Mhm.
this is more manageable in my
Right.
brain.
Yeah.
Right,
I remember doing that, and that was kind of from our brain dump
Right.
document, which I love. And yeah,
I mean, there's no reason, I mean, we can format it differently certainly, but I think the focus, or what we were driving at is, one of the things we didn't like about the old plan was, it was just way too much detail in it,
Right.
and
yeah,
it was
I
impossible
think
to
I
absorb.
think we're definitely gonna
Didn't really
cut it
apply.
down more. I know that's Mike's thought. He
Yeah.
is like what you're all saying is exactly the same as what he was saying.
yeah.
So I think that we will. I think that's then
Yeah,
that
focus
will
more on,
happen.
big picture, and,
Yeah.
I mean, if there are, basically, what we've just been saying is if there are any details that we could sort of flesh out because we're in the middle of something,
Exactly.
Mhm.
Or it's,
that's one thing, but,
Yeah.
the Boris to Boston Trail, obviously.
it's
that's
gonna be
in the
living
midst
and changing.
of something.
Right, we could just keep it for
Yeah.
the committees, like, just for our own edification, so we
Right.
know what the old ones were, but not,
Publish it.
anywhere near that for our version, I would say.
And, so, the other thing is the target audience for this as well, so to some degree,
Right,
it's, the town, and, I understand that they want to know what's going on in town, and, what the focus is on. But
Yeah.
also, the state is gonna wanna say, well, do these guys have any goals anyways? I mean, what is all this about?
Yeah.
So they, you know, there are partners that are gonna need this as kind of just a general roadmap, I think, rather than
Yeah.
anything else.
And I was thinking about that because I was going through and I was like, okay, this isn't our responsibility, get rid of that, this isn't our responsibility. But then I was like, oh, this is supposed to be a reference for the historical commission, planning board,
Right,
like
yeah.
select board, like board of assessors, like all these different things. Like, so there's gonna be stuff included that's not like us particularly like need to do this, but like we're just giving the town a roadmap for like their
But
responsibility.
what goes in our plan wouldn't be any of those things that are not our responsibility.
They are though, because I think that this, like, in the past, it was also a roadmap for like all these other boards and committees and stuff. And we, like, it indicates what is our responsibility. So, like, those are also, like, that's our part of the roadmap, our section of the roadmap, but like the historical commission has a lot of priorities that, open space is like an important part of their mission and stuff.
I guess what I was thinking is, I don't know if I could cover this, is we are, I mean, obviously, the town is going to be involved in this in a general sense, really. I mean, it's not like there's, I don't know how to make this plain, but I mean, it's not like we have to break down exactly which committee and commission and board or whatever needs to participate in any particular goal. In a sense, they're all going to participate one way or another. I mean, so.
I'm just worried about if it's not indicated, then it will kind of get dropped because no one knows if it's their responsibility.
Well, I mean, it'll be our responsibility to drive
To make
those
sure that they're
goals.
doing it, yeah,
Well,
that's
no, to
true.
make sure we're doing it. I mean, what goes in here is the stuff we're going to do.
Yeah,
And, you know, if that means going in front of the recreation committee or the historical commission or the board of selectmen or in order to move something along,
yeah.
you know, that's part of, you know, okay, so here's our goal, here's what we did. You know, that's a couple of years down the road. You know, we'll say, okay, we went here, got approved, this happened, such and such a feature was implemented, whatever, and so on and so forth. And then now you can see that shows real progress in my mind, rather than, you know, we can put it, I mean, I love the organization, I think it's great, but it's like too much detail up front and not enough, you know, what's really going to happen here. I mean, it's like,
Right.
I mean, so, yeah,
The
I
other,
don't know if I
yeah,
did a good job on that,
yeah.
but whatever.
We got
But in other words, I guess what we're saying is kind of just a general overview, get as much, try to avoid a lot of detail. Definitely give the impression that everybody in town is going to somehow be involved in this. I mean, it's a town document. But other than that, I mean, as far as the nitty-gritty details, those should emerge as we move through the project.
Yeah, I agree.
And those can be other documents. I mean, there's no reason why we should have plans for all of these things as we go along. And we do, in fact. I mean, the Borders to Boston Trail has 1 million different plans going
Yeah.
on. So, that's part of it.
I mean, the other thing, not to, and I know we could dissect, reference a lot of different columns here, but if you talk about just putting priority down, and we haven't done the legwork necessarily consulting or speaking to the other entities, committees, et cetera, in town, you know, that can create a lot of confusion, especially if they've already been on their own progressing towards something that's in here, right? Or the opposite, we're putting things down and saying, you're gonna be, you know, involved in this. They're gonna be like, wait a second. So I guess that's another reason to keep it much simpler. I'm not totally comfortable with the responsibility and priority columns in terms of if we do want to have something that gives a sense of how we're thinking about priority, we just got to be really careful how we present that. I don't-
There's just a lot of things that like
Yeah.
the planning board has the authority to do, or like the select board has the authority. I think that's kind of
Right.
the reasoning behind that category, like the planning board can, I don't know, require people to do, like require any builders of, you know, however many bedroom developments to do something with their septic that helps, you know, keep water from depleting or so, like something like that. Like I think like
Incursion on water resources.
right, yeah, exactly. And I see it all day long with their, you know, going back and forth about should this place have wells, should this place have, you know, town water, like things like that. They actually have the power to like decide that. So I think that is kind of, you know, if there's an item that's they, you know, we don't necessarily have the power to tell people what to do with their septic systems, but like the planning board does. So I just think that's the
So we're not coming up with a master plan here, I guess that's.
right. That's true. Yeah.
It's,
Yeah, this is
Where-
the open space and recreation committee, like what is our, and maybe that's why there's so many things on there, because it is things that may be driven by other groups. So I think we should like put a really keen eye to where we land.
Right.
And if there's some, like a goal already written down that someone else is gonna do, I don't know. Yeah, we should think about how our plan is gonna interact with their plan for sure. I mean, I kinda like writing down who's gonna be involved,
Yep.
Yeah.
because
Maybe-
it gives them the heads up.
That could be
In
the
the draft
framing
version.
instead of like responsibility. It could
Exactly,
be like
right.
partners.
Yeah, exactly.
Something like that, 'cause
Like
then
a
it's
racing
less, like-
matrix or something, right?
Yeah.
Who's gonna be-
Race matrix.
Yeah.
You set it up, but no, there's a value in that, but you can't, like, I don't think this
You
would
can't
be
do it
the
in
kind
here
of
now,
document.
but you could, but I do kinda like having the initials, at least in the draft version.
Right,
And I also just think that the
Yeah.
needs and the action plan, like this committee needs to all agree on what our needs and what our action plan are. Like, we all need to review and sign off, like, we're all here for a certain reason, whatever it is, and we wanna
Yeah.
make sure that we all, like, agree with everything that's in there. So before it goes to anybody, I feel like we
Yeah.
need to have a meeting and
Mhm.
review it and everybody like sign off on it, and it might take a couple of meetings to get through it.
Yeah.
So that's my one thing. And the other piece is that I don't think that MVPC really reviewed our document, like gave it the final review that we would want it before we send a draft version to DCR. Like they made very few comments and they didn't like polish it for us yet. And that's what they told us that they would do,
Right.
is polish it for us. And so I think that we need to send the whole thing to MVPC, start to finish,
yeah.
like
Right.
polish this whole thing and
Mhm.
review the action plan
Okay.
sections.
So like formatting, source formatting,
The
things
tone,
like
the
that.
voice,
yeah,
the consistency across how we say town of Newbury, or if we just say town, just the whole entire thing, like this is a document written by 5 different people and it reads like that. And
Right.
we need someone to really polish it before we would send it to the state. I don't think we would send it to the state like this.
Okay. I will see if that is something that, I know they're more of an environmental focus. I know that, I don't know if it would be on them to do like the like grammar and syntax. That might end up being me, but I can,
That's what they said.
'Cause I know-
Like, there's
I
the
know
guy who
they
came
did
and
say-
said, they're like, we can polish this for you. No,
Yeah.
please. They're like, you guys are writing this? No, let us write this for you. And so that's what they told us. So in my head, like, I'm ready to send this to them and have them polish it. So we only got a couple of comments about it last time, and I was
Yeah.
kind of taken aback because I thought you're just going to turn on track. Don't even turn on track changes.
Yeah.
Just revise the whole thing.
just go.
Let me see what it
I've
says.
definitely
Okay.
done these before, I mean,
Right. Send them
I've-
out of the environmental
this is
group
what
to the other group, whoever
people
writes
are-
these
yeah,
proposals.
I've seen
Yeah.
other
Ramp
open space
yeah.
plans that literally, they look the same because they
Right.
say MVPC.
Right. Exactly.
it's similar to proposals and other
Yeah.
things, so it's,
Kind of boilerplate, they'll have an idea.
okay.
And we definitely would do that before we went out for public review or that we sent it to DCR, because we
Yeah.
could not send a document out the way it is right now to the public for review.
And I should mention also, on the other hand, I've read some of these reports that do look fairly, how should I say, non-professional in this sense. I mean, you can definitely see it, there's lots of repetition in some of these.
Yeah, we
bits
want to
and
be proud of
pieces
this
of it.
document, we want this document to be,
Yeah.
reflect about all the time and be
If
very.
they're willing to help us, then,
And they keep
I'll help them.
offering, so
Cool.
it's like we now just have to have a hard conversation, like, can you do this and can you do it like in the next 4 weeks? And so I think we are trying to advance it.
Right.
So if you have, like Jim, if we were to meet, I actually think that we should start meeting like every couple of weeks instead of every month, so until we get this done.
yeah.
But we can talk about what that makes sense. But it seems like the only pieces now, so now, I mean, I didn't quite know that your sections were done, so I feel like we should all commit to reviewing your sections and giving you comments, like in the next week or so, or week or two. And you can incorporate those. In the meantime, Jim, you can incorporate the MVPC comments that came
Right.
in.
Yep.
So that maybe we have a version that we could send to them, like in the next few weeks, maybe by the middle of May, like right
Yeah.
after the meeting, the town meeting.
Yeah, and I think meeting every couple weeks is a good idea. I know that's
Would
like
anybody?
a big ask.
It is a big ask, but I feel like I'd rather do it now than like June, July, August,
Study work on it,
September.
Yeah.
I would rather get it done.
Yeah, I know, and that's my reasoning for trying to like,
Right.
get going, but I don't wanna like rush through anything either, but
No, I think we gotta finish this up.
yeah. Definitely.
I'll put my plug in for the Borders to Boston Committee. I seem to do it everywhere I go. But I do believe, unless I hear otherwise, in order to get the funding to start moving this project through between Georgetown and Byfield, we need to have an open space plan. Now, I don't know how provisional it has to be, but it has to be in place.
Did
And those things-
was that mentioned in our thing?
Yeah, it's right there on the website. That's where I got it from.
Okay, I didn't,
But Kristen was gonna look into it to see how strict they are about that. My
Right.
guess is that,
Oh yeah, we don't want to hold that up.
Yeah.
but
because that was,
our plan unfortunately is, the one we have probably would be okay if it wasn't so old.
right,
Mhm.
just,
That's true,
So
there
we have
is
to be a little
one.
careful.
It's just not updated. Yeah.
And the timing on that is pretty tight. I think we're talking June
The timing of what?
of the, when they start looking at those proposals and
The Boston to
evaluating.
border proposals?
Yeah, the Mass Trails grants.
Mhm.
So I think it's June somewhere.
So are you saying we have to have an approved plan by June?
we expected,
Well, we should have a plan in place.
Okay.
It does seem like it's a requirement in one way or another. I mean, will they accept the old plan? If that's the case, then it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Will they accept something that, they know is in process and
Mhm.
just hasn't been,
Okay,
where
yeah.
the eyes haven't
That
been
makes
dotted?
yeah, that was my impression, that, because they're gonna reply to us in June,
I can ask.
from us, they are.
I'll
Oh,
send
so
it.
they're reviewing now.
They were already, it was submitted in February, and we expect a reply in June. So,
Okay.
I would assume Kristen is, I know she brought it up, that
Yeah.
that she set expectations, but,
There's a very specific process
Yeah.
that,
right,
I think it's somewhere in June that is
Yeah.
really the crux. Whether it actually gets awarded then or not, but that's kind of when they do the evaluation and decide who they're gonna support and who they're gonna sort of say,
Right.
okay, try again next year. That's
Yeah.
it. Okay, that was my pitch, sorry.
Good reason to keep it moving.
Well, yeah, and streamlining, so I'm trying to say, one way to keep it moving is to streamline. And details tend to be things that take up a lot of time.
I'm almost tempted, I mean, tell me if this is crazy, I'm almost tempted to not look at the 2010 action plan, because it's
Right.
so huge, and maybe let's just come up with our own list of needs and action plans, and then be like, did we miss anything? And we could go back and look at that to come up with some stuff. I mean, are we going about this in the wrong direction?
I feel like we've been like, I feel like we were kind of trying to start from scratch throughout the whole winter, and I was getting the sense that we were having a hard time doing that. And I know I was trying to push for using the old plan to, you know, at least have like Martha or someone who was on the old plan or the committee when that plan was being made, just tell us like what's still a priority, what has been done, like, so we
Yeah, I
can
mean,
kind of check things
If
off.
there's something in progress already,
Yeah.
don't wanna, we need to.
Yes, but I do see your
Yeah.
point. Like,
Yeah.
it might be easier to, I don't know. I've been like struggling to find the best way to go about like the action plan itself.
I had AI create an action plan for us today. I took our document that we wrote and I said, review this document, right? AI can do anything
30 seconds.
now. And I said, review
Yeah.
this document and identify the needs that we have, even as like a starting point,
Sure.
that would roll into an action plan. And it came up with several sections. The first one is natural resource protection needs, and it's protect important farmland and undeveloped areas, protect wetland bogs and water resources. Now, some of this, they are like some draft action plan language was in here. And so it was grabbing some of that, which I was like, I don't think we've really written it yet, so how could that be?
Yeah, that stuff was in the one that's kind of cobbled together
Yeah.
too.
So anyway, I know that one of the goals was to review our document and say, where were the things that what were the things in here that we said that there were some issues, or we're vulnerable to losing this, or we're vulnerable to losing that, or this is super important. And it just like summarized them for us. And so I feel like, okay, that's a start, like that's a starting point. And if we were to like verify each one, I mean, it's easier to verify 4 pages and put it into a simple template version that Bill had, then, you know, and then add to it, like maybe just skim over this quickly, not like
Right.
belabor it, just go, yeah, that came out through the survey, so we should keep that one, and like just pull out the top 10 things out of there.
Or, I mean,
Yeah.
I guess I'm envisioning something even simpler. I mean, well, along the same lines, but basically, you know, that these goals are going to be in sort of broad categories. And actually, the spreadsheet is that kind of set up that way, you know, for the various types of recreation, what have you, like
Active and passive.
active versus passive,
Yeah,
agricultural.
It's 5 goals.
Yeah, and then just really some text in there to describe, this is what we're going to do. We're going to try and talk to people about their 61A status, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That stuff, a lot of that actually is in there, it seems. And we really could sort of cut and paste. You know, I wouldn't paste the whole, everything along the whole line there, but there's like the statement there does seem to have some bits and pieces that kind of cut and paste. And one thing that I did like about it, though, is there were some things that did come up over the year that we kind of, I forgot about, like the
Right.
Bay Circuit Trail, Bay Circuit Trail.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about that. But I guess that's been on the docket for a while. It wouldn't be a bad idea, maybe it's not a big priority, but put it in there somewhere so we don't forget it next time.
Yeah.
Actually, I even created a table.
It did create a table.
It actually created a table.
Yeah.
Like what the category and then the example action for the action plan. And this is based on actually what we wrote, based on the results of the survey. I don't know if like all the survey results have gotten in here in terms of like what were the highest priorities, but this might be more reflective of what we were looking at right now versus looking back 15 years ago.
I think like these rough goals were my like perusal through the narrative and picking stuff out. So similar to what you have, but it's not like complete or anything. But yeah, maybe we go back to what we were doing before and kind of trying to take stuff from the survey and, you know, what we found, you know, last year to be priorities for the town.
Mhm.
I don't know, I mean,
So,
It's a big task, I
I'm just
totally
like,
get it, it's a really big
we've
task.
talked about how to do this for so long, and I'd like to just, like, decide how to do it, but
Yeah.
I definitely wanna get the result that we want, so.
I mean, once the survey responses are in there, I mean, we are gonna put those in there, right? That's kind of how it
Yeah,
works.
yeah, like, I definitely
That
think
might
it
be
should
something that,
Yeah.
that an AI tool can analyze and sort of summarize for us.
Right,
Um,
it is amazing what we can do.
And I mean, not to, and I know we've gone around to a lot of different things, but I just, the town of Andover did, North Andover published theirs sometime at the end of last year, or
Yeah.
early, and like in their action plan section, you know, they have a goal and they have 2 objectives there. So they've got 1, 2, 3, it's still, you know, it's 5 pages, 6 pages,
Yeah.
but it's very, you know, it's 4 columns.
Simple, it's
Yeah.
4 columns, yeah.
So there is,
What
I think,
are
a
the
happy
columns?
medium.
What are the columns?
They
I'm just
are
curious.
responsible party and support, the time frame, and the potential funding source.
I feel like that's all you
You
need.
know, and the time frame can be ongoing,
Mhm.
years 1 to 3, years 4 to 7,
Mhm.
Yeah.
years beyond. You just put it,
Yeah.
and
Doesn't have to
so
be over
I don't
complicated.
think, there's no priority there. The fact that it's even on here means it's,
It's a priority.
it is a priority, especially in years 1 to 3. So
Yeah.
I guess I just feel like between everything we've discussed,
Yeah.
there's something along those lines that.
Yeah, and I see
Yeah.
that popping up in other reports as well.
And you can overload, not that you want to make it too wordy, but you can take a particular, you know, sub-objective, what was the word that, in the table?
Like goal /
A
objective.
sub-action.
Sub-action, yeah.
Sub-action, you know, you can kind of combine them into a more general, singular one or something.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
Just to sort of, that would be my suggestion, but
Yeah.
I don't.
So here's an idea, I'm just gonna toss it out, we can
Yeah.
shoot it down instantly. But we have 100 things that were written down in the last plan.
Right.
What if every committee member read through all 100 things and give me the top 15 that you think are still relevant that we should do? And we see where we all came from, which ones we all decided, and I mean, a perfect miracle, we all have the same 15, great, and then we confirm with Martha if we've done them or not. Otherwise, there are 15. And what are we missing based on what we know now?
Other,
Versus like the painstaking, it sounds like painstaking process. I just feel like we're the committee, so we need to come up with what are our priorities.
Yep.
We've got a list of 100 from before, but if we all just reviewed them and highlighted which ones we liked and we want to keep for the next version, great, that would like simplify it, unless we all chose a different one and we ended up with 100 that are highlighted green. Yes, I want to do all these. I don't know.
I think just doing a pass and picking your the top 20%.
Like, let's just go through it together on our next meeting. Let's just read out every single one and say, do we want to make that a priority? No, yes, no, yes.
I think I
And I haven't read them to know if that's feasible.
There's a lot.
I would love, I have thought, I've had the same thought, like, can we just go through them, yes, no,
Yeah.
but I know from experience, and I've been advised by Kristen especially, that like group editing is like, it seems ideal, but it always ends up taking longer than it seems.
Yeah,
So I'm worried about,
we won't have to vote on every item.
and they're not, you know, they're pretty simple, but some of them I feel like are kind of complex, and like, I feel like we all might have different opinions, but I don't want to, you know, not talk about things that we all have different opinions on, but my thought, and I think we talked about it a little bit on the last meeting, was that, you know, getting the people who worked on the old plan, who went through the same process before, not that Newbury's the same as it was 20 years ago, but like they've just done the process, like getting them to kind of review their own work, and they know what Newbury's like now, so they know what's relevant, and getting them to kind of make a draft plan and then bring it to you guys. Does that make sense? That was kind of where I was coming from, like at the end of last meeting, I was like, okay, these two people who've done this before, review it, give us a draft, and then I bring it back to you guys. I don't know. And then maybe we can do the group edit sort of like. Because
Yeah,
I
no,
feel
it's
like-
super important that we all, if they can
I
do it, if they
agree.
can get to it, it's super important that we all like feel invested in what the priorities are and what the goals are.
Yes, definitely.
And I know that Bill was gonna make that, but he was on a vacation, so he's gonna be included as well, if he,
Yeah.
if he can make it.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, we can stick with that plan, but I think that we should like give them the guidance that we're looking for like 15 things?
Yeah.
15
And
things.
I know that Mike is the same. Like I was kind of like, oh, like this seems important, but then he's like, we should just consolidate as much as possible and
Yeah,
not overcomplicate it. I think he is exactly feeling how you all are feeling about it. So,
I mean, the reality is the objectives add up to about, how many objectives total do we have? It's about 50.
like 15, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, that's where I guess I'm, you've taken a, yeah. So maybe the objectives kind of stay if they do align with what we would feel are.
yeah.
And then you just make a point of not listing out
Going into items.
10 sub
one.
actions on,
Right.
Yeah.
And you really limit yourself.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what I say.
and I definitely think that part of that is reworking the goals and their text. Like, I feel like they're pretty general, but we could even combine a couple goals together and like maybe have like 3 or 4 main goals and
We
then,
have 5.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
just maybe trim it
And
a little
like-
bit.
Yeah, make those even broader and then
Yeah.
the objectives, there's like 2 or 3 in each goal or something like that. I don't know.
All right. Yeah. So is the, what's the decision here in terms of,
I guess since I've got Martha and Mike kind of chugging along on their own with getting some review done on this. I'll tell them, the committee is very much interested in having it be extremely simple as possible, consolidated. They will.
and I do wonder if, because it looks like the responsibility and the funding columns are starting to get filled in, right?
Yeah.
Like maybe they have already in their mind not gotten into everything
Yeah, I
else
mean,
in between.
I just pasted in what was on the old plan for the corresponding
Right.
action. So, I mean, depending on what they think, like, we can, figure out those other columns and what's needed, what's not.
Right.
But I think, yeah, I'll have them keep doing what they're doing, them and I will make a draft, consolidating all the old ones, bringing in the new, things from the survey and stuff. And
If it wasn't identified in the narrative and it wasn't identified in the survey, then I think it's not a priority.
it's
or
not
objective.
really necessary.
Right.
Yeah,
And we
that's
just cross
true.
it out.
That's true, yeah.
Can I look at that?
Yeah,
Just,
yeah.
curious.
Really, I'm telling you, my entire company is
Yeah.
using
No,
AI,
that's
it's
right.
literally
Yeah.
getting,
Sure.
and I haven't QC'd that, so I'll put that out there, but. And I think I just opened up Hudson's plan, and they also have the same very simple table, it's 4 columns,
Mhm.
action, lead support, time for enforcement, potential.
Yeah.
So that's exactly, I think we
And
should-
what I love is they also have a map that shows here are the areas that we're gonna focus on.
Yeah,
They're
that's
like,
cool.
here's our action plan, the areas we're gonna focus on, find a trail here,
Right.
put ADA spaces there.
Yeah.
Yeah, MVPC I think will be part of their mapping package is an action plan. Action
Okay.
plan map,
Oh,
so
good.
to that.
And that makes it so real to a citizen.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's only so many things, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, they've got 9 things on this map.
That's interesting, yeah. This-
It's almost as though if in the text of the rest of the report, we had put even just a little cue coming out of, even if it's coming out of
Yeah.
this document, then
Well,
it would have
that's-
generated an item in there for it at least.
Right.
And then we could, because it might be a better way to do this all around, you know, while we're talking about, you know, soils and wildlife and all that stuff, you know, we can mention the kinds of things that we would like to see as goals.
That is the goal. You have to do that intersection.
Yeah,
So that was one of the things that was like, if you took on a section, because it was like your passion, and you feel like part of our plan, part of our goals and action plan should be around something, you have to write that we have that need. That need has to be written here, or else when we go to get for funding, the state's gonna look and say, well, you didn't write anything about that in your plan, so no, I'm not giving you that funding. So it's really important that our needs are
Yeah.
articulated in every single section. So if you think in your section for climate change, if there's an open space tie, where you think we should do something, make sure you write the need in there.
yeah, there is actually.
And in that MVP
but,
comments version of the document.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I guess what I was saying is if it is already interspersed in the text, then using a tool like this to generate that table in the end almost seems like, well, why not? I mean, all it's doing is organizing what we've already talked about.
Exactly, and making it more elegant than otherwise.
Um,
All right.
okay.
I can also do that as well. But yeah, I will, keep working with Martha and Mike. We'll make a draft, give it to you guys for review. Does that sound like good next steps?
Yeah, so, okay, so in terms of the revision of the next steps, so we've already done number 1, submit all of our requests for MVPC for map updates, data tables, like blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
Incorporate their comments into a more refined version. But they didn't do an overall review yet. They didn't do the refinement version.
Okay.
So I think we gotta send it back to MVPC with the action plan to polish. And once they give that back to us, then we submit it to all the town departments
Hold on.
and the state.
Sorry, I got lost. Submit request to MVPC, which we've already done.
And now we're gonna submit to MVPC, after we've incorporated all their first comments, we're gonna submit to MVPC with the action plan as well.
Yes.
And we're gonna ask them to polish the narrative soup to nuts.
Comments, then, and finish action plan, then send back for full overall review
And polish.
and polish and formatting, and sources, etc.
Which is like what, Kristen was like, we have the money, we asked last year to put aside as much money as we could to hire MVPC to help write this, and Kristen said, we've got all their hours allocated to this.
Yeah.
The fiscal year ends in June, so they have to do it in the next 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So, if we could send them back, have them finish writing, then we're ready to send the draft, as long as we like it.
Mm-hmm.
So we do the action plan first,
Yes.
and we review like all of your sections and we incorporate those, and then we go to MVPC, and then we send to the town departments. And-
We send to MVPC and then we do the public meeting for review and feedback of the action plan.
Okay, so we want to do, you think that we should get public review before we send it to, see, I'm concerned about going to the public before sending it to the departments. Because of the departments,
So, that's what the workbook said, I'm pretty sure, I just reviewed it today, I'm not, what did Kay say? Hold on, let me just look at what I saved today. Final drafting.
on the flip side, we either send it to the agency, to the town departments once or twice. So I guess if we only wanted to send it to them once, we would want to send it to them before we sent it to the state.
Yeah, okay, so it says, this is an email from Kay. the public engagement pieces is really varied from town to town. The OSRPs I've read and reviewed. A lot of the public engagement I've seen has come very early in the process, tapers off as the plan is being completed. I think offering your community another chance to provide feedback, especially after the development of your action plan, is a great idea. Might even increase cooperation on the community level as you begin to implement planned actions. Two good options here. You can either meet with other boards and committees separately to solicit their feedback ahead of the public feedback meeting, or you could be very intentional about asking these boards and committees to attend the public feedback meetings and play a role in receiving comments from the community alongside you, or you could even do both. Ultimately, you know.
So we could go either way, so we have to
That's
decide what's best for our town.
Let me look out what the workbook said also. They say, approval process. That is the last step. Okay, they don't say anything about public review. Okay, so yeah, I guess that's true, we can just do it either way. There's a review. Yeah, okay. So we want to do boards first before entities before public?
I think we should do whatever makes the most sense, so I'm open to feedback on that.
Okay. I think we should do public before the first draft to DCR. Because it will.
Oh, yeah, for sure, before DCR. The
Well-
question is before the board.
Right, but I mean, there's the two times we'll be sending it to DCR. There's the final, obviously, like, here it is version, but there's the first initial review, which can happen at the same time as the boards and committees. So, do we want to do boards and committees, public meeting, and then initial DCR review, and then incorporate comments, and then final draft to DCR? Is that what you were thinking, Kristen?
I had go to the town departments, incorporate comments from the town departments. We'll already have gotten like pretty good buy-in from MVPC, so only let them know if anything drastic has changed. Then go to the public, incorporate public comments, and then send the draft to DCR. But if we want DCR's feedback earlier, I'm happy to do it at the same time as the boards and DCR.
Okay.
So we've got action plan, MVPC polish.
I guess my question would be, is DCR expecting any new material between the first review and the second review?
I just
Kind of
think,
thinking that maybe they're probably not going to be open to a lot of that.
I just think it's kind of like a, we're not grading you sort of thing, the first review. So I think we'll definitely get some comments back from them that we'll have to incorporate. So, I mean, I guess we don't have to do the public meeting of the public review of the action plan before we submit it to DCR for the first time. I just thought that would make more sense so that, it's kind of like almost a finished draft except for the approval letters from the town entities, but if
I'm
you
a
want-
little more worried about sending to the public and then doing a lot of changes. So I kind of like
That's
going to
true.
DCR, because if we give it to the public, we don't want to have another public meeting, but we
Exactly.
can send to the DCR as many times as we want.
Okay, I think we only can send it once for
Draft,
a draft, and then the next time we send it will be the final.
like our final draft.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I would think having the public go after DCR takes a review would be safer in the sense that
Yeah,
we've, for lots of reasons, but one of them being that if you're telling the public, look, the state's already reviewed it and we've incorporated some of the feedback.
Yeah.
If I was a citizen hearing that, I'd probably be like, oh, that's good. This
Yeah.
has been vetted and kind of, it's a good thing. I might have some, I think
Okay.
the public's gonna be probably focused on the action plan a a little bit and say,
Yeah.
well,
That's true.
what's in there that I'm interested in, right?
Mhm.
So, I don't know.
Yeah,
I guess you run the risk that you're missing something that they expected, but
but I mean, we can tell them, like, you know, we have a meeting planned for X date, like, we're not done with our public outreach. And
yeah,
that will-
and the public outreach really is more about the input, the survey, and all that happened, right?
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
this isn't like opening up that whole.
No, it's
and that'll
just
be
kind
can
of like
worms
a,
otherwise.
like a, do you like our action plan kind of thing, I think will be the point
Exactly.
of that meeting.
Right.
And we can call DCR too and get their opinion. Hey, we're finishing up, this is the town of Newbury.
Yeah,
We're writing our OSRP,
Right.
we're down to like, sending it to the board, sending it to the public, and sending it to you as a real draft.
mhm.
What do you have any preference?
Yeah, because they don't really give you specific instructions in the workbook,
But
so.
they probably have learned a lot since they issued that workbook, so can we just ask them?
Yeah, I think we could.
And the bottom line is though, that we want all the sections and the action plan in pretty decent shape.
Yeah,
Before we do any of this.
send it at all, yeah.
So, you know,
I
we got
agree.
a fair enough.
So I will try to reach out to DCR to ask them what they think we should do in terms of order of operations here. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, why not? Like, we're struggling over figuring it out,
Yeah.
and I say,
It
this
can't
is how
hurt
it's
to
gonna
ask,
work
you know,
best.
Yeah, okay.
And then they can tell us, and you can only send us one draft and then your final draft,
Yeah,
or,
yeah. And they, I think, would know best.
yeah.
Operations. Approval. Okay. What else do I have to discuss? Okay. So for action plan, I'm going to continue to work with Martha.
I guess one question I would put to DCR is, after that initial review, do they ever, I mean, have they in the past, or do they normally recommend anything significant that needs to be changed? Which in our mind would mean we'd have to go back through that process of putting it in front of a committee and the public again. I guess that's what,
Yeah.
just make sure that when they do it, they're just saying, okay, well, it fits our generic format and it seems to have all the right sections in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we check this, that, and the other, and it all looks good, or is it gonna be something like, oh, you forgot to include.
You gotta do a
Yeah.
whole other pass.
Oops.
Kay has said that they often give comments and many comments, but their whole attitude around the open space plan updates seems to be like, you know, more lenient than in the past. So I'm not thinking they're gonna be like terrible, bad to everything, so.
Okay.
But again, this is my first time doing it, so
Okay.
I'm just repeating what I've heard. But yeah, I'll definitely reach out to them, and I think I can definitely ask, like, you know, other little, you know, action plan questions that have come up today and stuff, so.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Okay, so action plan, I will keep working with Martha and Mike, trim it down, consolidate. Once we have sort of draft, I will send it to you all for review, then we can talk about it, like you suggested, at the, you know, whatever meeting it ends up being, the next one or the one after. And I will reach out to DCR to ask about recommended order of steps for the approval process. I will definitely, you know, send out the draft action plan to you all before sending it out to anyone else. I will ask MVPC about polishing and how, you know, how we want them to go through the formatting, source formatting, voice, you know, any other comments. Yeah, does that all make sense?
Yeah, sounds
Yeah.
good.
Okay. And you and Bill will fight to the death over who's gonna
Yes.
speak at town meeting?
We will draw straws and we will, one of us will do it.
Yes, okay, cool.
And we'll run the talking points by, oh no, I guess we can't. We'll run them by you.
Sounds good. I think Kristen or I can look at it and discuss and, yeah. I'm
David
sure.
did a lovely job last time. I wish
Yeah,
it was
I thought so.
recorded, because I can't remember what he said, but he actually did a lovely job. And I'll
Yeah.
tell you, the album would just be like way more
Yeah,
business-like and less, like was very eloquent and he did a great job.
yes. Awesome. Okay, so, I will also organize the draft documents in the folder. Jim and Sean, you'll review your data and sources there,
Yep.
and Jim, your comments. I will work on section 6 and incorporating the survey results and the Greenbelt maps. Yeah, that's all I have for homework stuff.
Good.
Okay?
Do we want to talk about next meeting, or?
Yes.
Yeah.
I just put it on the calendar. So what do we think about meeting in less than a month?
I think that would be good.
I mean, in 2 weeks is the town meeting, so
So we would be able to meet them.
we can't do it then.
And the 19th is going to be our next one.
Yeah, what about the 7th or the 12th?
I can do the 12th, as far as I know.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Work for you guys?
Do you think
It will totally depend on the weather, so
Yeah.
we'll just have to hope that it works.
Okay, so May 12th will be our next meeting.
May 12th. I had this one happening at 6 p.m., but it ended up happening at 7 p.m., even though we kind of agreed to 6. But I'm fine whichever way we go, so I can either do 6, 6:30, or 7.
You had this one at
Yeah.
6?
I
We
think
did
so.
have our last one that started at 6. Like the Greenbelt one started at 6, I think.
Yeah.
we did? Yeah.
Yeah. So, were you here at 6 o'clock?
No, luckily I read the agenda.
Okay.
And
I was
in
like-
your email because you wrote it.
I was like,
And I looked at my
she's
calendar, I was
here
like,
at 6 o'clock.
no.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
Open space. So what time do you want to do it at?
I just like earlier so that we can go home earlier.
Yeah, I agree. What about 6:30? Or
That's-
6? I know that Mike sometimes, now we're in baseball season,
Right.
so
Mhm.
Mike might have a conflict, so I feel
That
like,
is what I'm thinking too. Do we want to say 6:30 or
yeah,
Yeah, why don't we?
let's do 6:30
6:30?
On the 12th.
Okay.
on the 12th. And we'll have to look at the rooms too, so there's a chance that we'll have to
Yes.
shift it.
Yeah, and maybe if people are okay with doing Zoom, we could do earlier. But
Yep, that's totally true.
yeah.
I
So
would be okay with that.
Yeah,
do we
that would
want to say Zoom for May 12th at the moment?
be- Sure.
Okay. 6:30, May 12th, Zoom. I will send all that info out. You have minutes for this meeting
Yep,
that you'll send me, and I can send them, as soon as I get them, I will send them out to the committee.
I don't know if I have, do you have a template in Word that I could add these into?
I can send you a copy of Mike's, or if you have Mike's minutes, you can like look at how he does them maybe. Is that helpful?
Yeah, I just didn't know if you want me to add them into,
Oh, like with a header and stuff?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I can send,
Or do you want me to just send you the?
I can send you like a little, like,
Then I'll just cut and paste.
yeah, I'll do that. Send.
Oh, you know what? I have. Oh no, I don't even 2026 one. In Word, so
I will do that. Will take 2 seconds, no worries.
yeah. If you just give me that.
Yeah, totally. Alrighty. Okay. What else? There was committee member updates. I don't know. Does anyone have any other updates?
For me?
Alright,
Yep.
we've decided the next meeting date, so does someone want to move to adjourn?
Make a motion to end the meeting. It is 9:03 p.m.
Second it?
All in favor?
All in favor?
Bye.
Aye.
Okay.
Yay!